When does a habit become an addiction? Is it after a week, a year, or after a lifetime of repetition? Or maybe the better question is this: has your habit already crossed the line into addiction without you realizing it? Welcome back to our series, The Addicted Brain: Why It's So Hard to Break Free. In part 1, we saw how addiction hijacks the brain's reward system, rewiring the compass that once pointed us toward survival. But no one wakes up addicted. Addiction doesn't start with a crash. It starts with something small, familiar, and seemingly harmless: a habit. And today, we're going to explore the invisible line where a habit stops being a choice and starts taking control. Every addiction begins as a habit. Think of habits as bricks. One brick by itself doesn't matter. 2, 3, even 10 don't make much difference. But stack enough bricks in the same place, and eventually you've built a wall. And that wall can either protect you or trap you. At first, a habit is controlled. You choose when to do it, how often, and whether it fits into your life. For example, having a glass of wine after dinner, going for a run every morning, or checking social media before bed. At this stage, you can walk away. You're the one making the decision. But addiction begins when the choice disappears, when the habit begins to choose you. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and before you've even thought about it, your brain whispers, "Where's the coffee? Where's the cigarette? Where's the phone?" The action is no longer conscious. It's automatic. It's not you choosing it. It's the habit choosing you. Another sign is when the habit starts rearranging your life. Skipping time with family, losing sleep, ignoring work. That glass of wine after dinner becomes 2, then 3. The quick scroll before bed turns into hours lost at night. What once fit neatly into your day now bends your day around it. And here's what makes it tricky. This transition is subtle. It doesn't happen overnight. Most people don't even notice it while it's happening. That's because every repetition comes with a reward, a hit of dopamine that says, "Yes, that worked. Do it again." The loop tightens quietly. It's like tying a rope around a tree. At first, the rope is loose. You can slip it off anytime. But with every repetition, the rope wraps tighter. Loop after loop after loop, until one day it's no longer a rope you control. It's a knot you can't untangle. This is where the line gets crossed. The brain doesn't send a warning. There's no alarm bell, no flashing light. Instead, the shift happens almost invisibly until one day you realize you're no longer doing it because you wanna. You're doing it because you need to. And that's the moment a habit becomes an addiction. Not because the habit itself was evil, but because the brain, fooled by repeated rewards, rewired itself into believing this behavior is now essential for survival. Let's bring this into real life. Caffeine. At first, it's a pick-me-up before work. Over time, your brain starts whispering for it the moment you wake up. The habit shifts into dependence. Social media. At first, it's checking updates after work. Slowly, it creeps into mornings, meals, and even conversations. Before you know it, the habit is stealing hours from your day. Alcohol or gambling. At first, it's a way to relax or have fun with friends. Slowly, it becomes a necessity, something you feel incomplete without. Different habits, same loop. The rope keeps tightening until the brain itself believes this is survival. And here's the painful irony. The brain can't tell the difference between habits that help you and habits that harm you. Dopamine doesn't care whether the reward comes from a morning run or from another drink. All it knows is, repeat this. And so it does, again and again, until the line is crossed. So let's recap. Habits begin as choices, small, repeated actions that fit neatly into our lives. But with repetition, dopamine reinforces the loop. The rope tightens, and slowly, choice turns into compulsion. What once felt optional becomes necessary. That's when a habit quietly crosses the line into addiction, not because the person is weak, but because the brain has been fooled into thinking the behavior is essential for survival. And that raises the next big question. What exactly is happening inside the brain to make this shift so powerful? How does repetition physically rewire the brain itself? That's the journey we'll take in the next episode, the physical changes in the brain. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 3. And if this episode made you rethink your own habits, share it with someone you care about. Sometimes awareness is the first step toward change. We've seen how habits turn into addiction. Next time, we'll see how addiction carves itself into the very structure of the brain.